Good evening, Virgo. Something is already happening. Right now, as you read these words, before anything has been said, before any message has been delivered, something shifted. The moment you chose this, welcome. You are already in it. I want to start by saying something that might sound strange, but I need you to stay with me. The miracle does not begin after this reading ends. It began the moment you stopped, the moment something in you, that deeper part that knows things before they are explained, said, "This one, click on this one," and you listened. That listening is not small. That is not nothing. That is the beginning of every miracle that has ever happened to anyone, anywhere, in any life. Someone listened to something they could not fully explain and moved toward it. And what followed changed everything. You just did that 5 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago. Whenever you pressed play, the miracle is already in motion. Now I want to talk about what miracles actually are, because I think the word gets misused, gets reserved for the extraordinary, the dramatic, the undeniable, the thing that cannot be explained by anything other than grace. And while those exist, while the extraordinary version is real, it is not the only version, and it is rarely the version that changes lives most profoundly. The miracles that reshape a life are usually smaller than that, more ordinary in their packaging, more easily dismissed by someone who is not paying attention. A conversation that happens at exactly the right moment, an idea that arrives fully formed, out of nowhere, at 2 a.m., that turns out to be the answer you had been searching for. A person who appears, who was not there yesterday, but is here today, and whose presence changes the direction of everything that follows. A door that opens in a wall that has been solid for months or years, simply without drama, but completely a moment of clarity, so complete that everything that was confusing becomes simple, and you cannot remember why it ever seemed otherwise. Those are miracles, the kind that are coming for you in the days and weeks ahead. I want to do something right now together, you and me, in this moment, because I believe that what we focus on together has weight, has energy, has the power to begin something. I want you to think about one thing, just one, that you have been hoping for, not the grand version, not the whole picture of everything you want your life to become. One specific thing that you have been carrying quietly, that you have not yet let yourself fully believe is possible, but that refuses to stop being wished for, no matter how many times you have tried to release it. Hold that right now in your mind, in your chest, in whatever place that wish lives in your body. Good. Now I want to tell you something about that thing. It is not foolish. I know that sometimes it has felt foolish, naive, the kind of hoping that other more realistic people gave up on a long time ago. And maybe you have been slightly embarrassed by it, have not told anyone because saying it out loud makes it feel vulnerable, makes it possible to be disappointed in front of someone else. And you would rather be disappointed alone, quietly, than have your hope witnessed and then not met. But it is not foolish. It is a signal. The fact that it keeps returning, no matter how many times you have tried to be practical, to be realistic, to let it go, and it comes back again, quietly insistent, like something that knows it belongs in your life and is not willing to accept being wished away. That persistence is information. Your soul does not keep wishing for things that are not meant for it, not with that kind of consistency, not with that kind of refusal to die. Despite everything, that wish is pointing toward something real. Whew. Now I want to talk about what is happening in the energy of your life right now, in this exact season, because there is something specific I want to name. The resistance is breaking down. The thing that has been standing between you and what you have been hoping for, whatever form it has taken, circumstance, timing, the particular arrangement of things that made the wish feel unreachable, that has been solid for a while. It is not solid anymore. Something in the structure of your circumstances is loosening, not dramatically, not with announcement, but the way ice loosens in early spring, when the temperature shifts by a single degree and suddenly what was fixed is liquid again and moving. That movement is what the miracles flow through. They need a channel, and the channel is opening. I want to speak now to what you need to do to position yourself to receive what is forming, because receiving is not passive. It is not sitting and waiting. It is active. It requires something of you. The first thing it requires is exactly what you did when you clicked on this: attention, presence, the willingness to stop the noise for a moment and listen to something quieter, more internal, more honest than the noise usually allows. The second thing it requires is expectation, not the anxious kind, not the desperate kind that clings and demands and collapses under its own weight. The quiet kind, the settled kind, the kind that says, something good is forming for me. I do not need to see it yet to believe it. I simply need to remain open to it, and it will arrive. And the third thing, the most important thing, is movement, one step toward the thing you were holding in your mind a moment ago. One step today, not tomorrow, not when things settle. Today, because miracles meet people in motion, not in stillness. They find people who are already moving towards something, and they accelerate that movement. They remove obstacles. They open doors. They bring the right person into the path at the right moment. But first, you have to be moving. I want to tell you something about the specific quality of the miracles that are approaching your life, because they are not generic. They are fitted, custom made for the specific contours of who you are, of what you have been through, of what you are capable of receiving and holding and building upon. The financial shift that is forming is not a number falling from the sky. It is the recognition of what you bring, finally arriving in a material form, finally matching the value you have always offered, but that has not always been reflected in what you receive. The relational miracle that is forming is not a perfect person appearing from nowhere. It is the right person for the right version of you, the one that exists right now after everything you have become, arriving at exactly the moment you have the capacity to receive them without losing yourself in the process. The internal miracle that is forming is the quieting of the voice that has questioned you for too long, the settling of the doubt into something firmer, something that finally says, enough. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. And I am done negotiating downward from either of those things. That is the deepest miracle. And it is already happening. Whew. I want to say one more thing before I let you go. Before this ends and the miracle continues without me, do not dismiss what happens next. In the next 24 hours, the next week, the next month, pay attention to the small things, the unexpected call, the idea that arrives out of nowhere, the door that opens that you were not watching, the conversation that turns into something more than it started as, the moment of clarity that reorganizes everything. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Do not explain them away. Do not be too busy or too cautious or too accustomed to ordinary to recognize the extraordinary when it is standing right in front of you. In its ordinary clothes, the miracle knows how to find you. You only have to be awake enough to recognize it and brave enough to say yes when it arrives at your door. Something has already shifted the moment you pressed play, the moment you listened to the thing that told you to come here, the moment you held that wish in your chest and let yourself believe, even for a few minutes, that it was not foolish. The miracle is not coming. It is already here, moving, building, finding its form, making its way toward the specific shape of your life with a precision that will astonish you. When it arrives fully, don't be surprised. You called it in just now by being here, by listening, by hoping. Go receive it.